Okay, we are joined by CSU Bakersfield Roadrunners, head coach Greg McCall, student athletes Batabe, Zempare, and Addi Walters. Coach, if you can give us our opening statement on that double overtime game.
Hats off to RGV. They played a heck of a game. They battled. It was a war. Like I told you guys a couple days ago that this game was going to be a war. And we knew that coming in. We knew that it was going to be a tough game because both teams wanted really bad. We wanted to get to that championship game. Somebody had to lose. I wish it wasn't us, of course. We had it in our hands a few times. There's so many, like I was telling my team, so many what-ifs. What if we would have got that rebound? What if we would have made that free throw? What if we would have hit that open shot? What if we would have got that turnover? What if we didn't foul at that particular time of the game when we had the game won? What if we would have executed a play or two better here and there on some execution things? If we would have rebounded better? You know, you definitely can tell that the rebounding was huge for them. It didn't look like it. It was 60 to 58. But if you look at the offensive rebounds, they had 31 of those versus our 23. But kind of going back to the overall scheme of things, I'm very proud of my team, how they battled. Earlier on in the year, we went through a lot of adversity that a lot of people didn't know about. And losing close games earlier on in the year, playing tough teams. The one thing I'm most proud of our team for is, and especially Batabe, she's sitting here now, she can hear me because I said it yesterday, of her leadership, how she stepped up and just took over the team and made it hers. And that's what I have been asking for all season long. And when that happened, she did an extremely, extremely great job of running the team. But I'm very proud of my team. They represented the university very well. They represented themselves. I couldn't be more proud. I couldn't ask for them more because they left everything on the floor.
Okay, open it up for questions.
Coach, what do you tell your team after a tough loss like this, especially, you know, senior Batabe and Alyssa too, and maybe even the younger people like Addi?
Yeah, you know, you tell them to try to keep their head up. It's one of those things that it's tough to do because you went out there, you battled. You battled. You went into 2 overtimes, and you turn around, you end up losing the game by 1. And you try to tell them about, you know, it wasn't that one particular play that hurt us. It was several, actually a lot of different plays that hurt us that we could pinpoint. This happened. But you try to tell them to keep their head up. You know, it's tough to do. It's tough as a coach to be able to swallow. But tell them about how proud I am of them. Let them know that this is, you know, you can carry this a long ways with you, not just on the floor, but off the floor in life. You know, when you have an opportunity to take something, go out and get it because it's not going to be given to you. And we had our opportunity to go take it, and we didn't. We let it slip through our fingers. But it's a life lesson for our seniors and then for our underclassmen. Let them know that everything that they went through this season, don't make the same mistakes again.
Batabe, saw you pacing back and forth there at the second overtime. How difficult was that to have to sit there and watch the end of their game there?
That was the worst feeling ever, just not feeling like you can't do anything to help the situation. That was one of the hardest things I ever had to do in my life.
There was some, especially the periods, Greg, when the turnovers really hurt you. I think there was one sequence where 6 consecutive possessions with turnovers, and I think they got 4 layups out of transition, and that you were able to fight back from that. But their quickness, you know, how big of an issue, or, you know, I knew you knew about it. You played them 3 times this year, but just talk about that factor in the game because that seemed to be a pretty big factor.
I wouldn't say it was. I think we were just really careless with the ball. making some soft passes. A couple times, I think Erica Williams had a couple of those turnovers out of there. Looking at Sarah's stats here. Yeah, you see she has 7 turnovers, which is uncharacteristic of her with her passing. She's such a great passer. I think a lot of it could have been fatigue, because she played so many minutes the game before, the day before, and then, her having 7 turnovers is huge. That hurt a lot. And a few of those were hers. A couple times she got them, wasn't off of the pass. They were just kind of off where she was in the middle of the floor, and she would pivot and wasn't pivoting strong enough with the basketball and wasn't ripping through strong enough to attack against that 2-1-2 half-court trap they were doing. But yeah, I wouldn't say that it was their speed. It was just us, just being careless with the basketball.
Let me ask you about when Alyssa got the foul trouble early on, and you went to a zone there. Was that to protect her a little bit more than anything?
Yes, as well as to kind of throw something different at them, because we knew that they would struggle against the zone. I probably didn't really want to go to it as early as I did, but we did, and it was effective. That's something that we know that they kind of struggle with is going against the zone. They tried to run some different things, and they got a few good looks out of it at times, but for the most part, it kept us in the game. It did keep Alyssa out of foul trouble, as well as toward the end, too, kept Batabe out of foul trouble.
Greg, where do you think the program is in your eyes as far as building it? Obviously lost in the same round 2 years in a row, but kind of a different feeling. You were an underdog today, it came a lot closer.
Yeah, I think our program is always headed in the right direction. I think we're there. We've arrived. I think, we're a team that is not just recognized here in the conference, but throughout the country as well, too, because even though we're a young team, this program has only been around women's basketball since 2000. Where you have a lot of other programs that's been around a very, very long time, and that's RGV included. They've been around a long time. But our whole women's basketball program has only been around since 2000. And if you look at the strides that we've made in that time, for us being from being Division II to going to Division I independent, and to now being in the conference, this is our 3rd year in the conference. As you look at the way that we've made progress. So we're not just a team now, we're actually a program that is on the rise.
It's coming.
Addi, as a freshman, let me ask you, just a game like this, your season ends on this, but you've got 3 years ahead of you, and does this whet the appetite more for next year? Or does this, I know it's awful quick after a game, but just, what you've taken from this year and what you're going to use your own game to develop, in your own game moving forward in your career beyond this year?
I've definitely learned a lot this year. Not really thinking about next year yet, still kind of feeling the pain from this game, and nothing's promised next year in terms of what we have. I was only focused on this year and winning for the seniors, and it's going to be a whole new dynamic next year, and I got a lot of work to do over the off season.
Addi, just kind of reflect on, obviously, your Freshman of the Year honors. You hit that 3 at the buzzer that kind of turned the tide and gave your team a little boost of energy to keep you guys in the game. Just talk about what that moment was like and reflect on how you've become a role player for this team.
This game is probably the craziest game we've had all season. A lot of emotions. Even though we lost, probably one of the funnest games I've ever played in. Never played in a game like this. As a role player on this team, next year I feel like I want to do a lot more in terms of not being labeled just a shooter, because I feel like it helped the team a lot more by not just being a shooter and doing other things. But like I said, I'll work on that in the off season. But I'm proud of this year and proud of what this team has done. Just upset about the final outcome.
Okay, one more question up here.
I know, Batabe, just being, I know this is your final game here, but and a lot of probably emotion for you, but just talk about just the experience here in Bakersfield, that you've had, and pretty much, obviously left it all on the floor, tonight.
It's been a great experience. These past 4 years have been probably the best 4 years of my life. Going close, sorry, I'm going closer to this guy right here. Our relationship has developed so much, and he's made me into a better person, a better player. I couldn't thank him enough. And the city of Bakersfield is on the rise and has so much potential, and I'm glad to be able to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think Batabe has such a bright future. You know, this won't be her last basketball game. She's has some opportunities to continue to play at the professional level, and so I'm very proud of her for that. And if you guys would have seen Batabe when she first got here, the things that she's developed and the way she's developed her game and expanded her game to becoming what she's become is a testament to her and how much hard work will pay off, because that's all she did. She stayed in the gym and continued to listen, continued to be coachable, and as those 4 years went by, you could see a huge difference. When she first got here, she was just pretty much a rebounder. And that's what she did best, and couldn't finish, now you can see how she's developed her game. And so kind of going back to the question that you asked earlier about the program, if you look at how we're developing players like Ty Outland, who's above and beyond of playing, and Batabe, and then the players that we're constantly bringing in that we're recruiting, like players like Addi, players like Tylene and Alexis. Those players there, they could have went to a bigger and supposedly bigger, better programs. But they chose CSUB because they know that we're a team that's on the rise and that's making some good moves and doing some great things.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks.